myself, Daniel Carter.
Daniel woke up to a grey sky and the faint, restless sound of cars passing on the street below. The curtains fluttered slightly as if the morning itself was uneasy. For a few seconds he stayed still, staring at the ceiling, hoping the strange heaviness in his chest would fade. It did not. He exhaled slowly and forced himself out of bed. The floor felt colder than usual beneath his feet. Everything felt off, like the calm before something unnamed but inevitable. Downstairs, the familiar clatter of utensils filled the kitchen. Margaret stood by the stove, moving on instinct, toast popping, coffee pouring. Normally, Daniel would greet her with casual confidence, sometimes even a careless joke. Today, he just sat down quietly. Margaret noticed immediately. "You are quiet this morning," she said, glancing at him over her shoulder. "Did you sleep at all?" Daniel shuddered, staring at his untouched plate. "Enough." "That's not the answer," she said gently. "I have a lot on my mind," Daniel replied, forcing a smile that did not reach his eyes. "Just thinking." Margaret studied him for a moment, then nodded. She did not press further. She knew when silence was heavier than questions. As Daniel left the house, the air outside felt colder, thicker. Even the drive to college felt unusually long. Red lights lingered. Pedestrians stared a second too long. When he stepped onto campus, he felt it instantly. Whispers. They floated through the air like invisible threads. Quiet laughs, hushed conversations that stopped when he passed. Students leaned closer to each other, eyes flicking toward him, then away. It wasn't admiration, it wasn't envy, it was curiosity and judgment. Daniel straightened his shoulders. "Let them look," he told himself. "Daniel." Ryan jogged up beside him, slightly out of breath, his face tight with concern. "Man, have you seen this?" Ryan asked, holding up his phone. "Seen what?" Daniel frowned. Ryan hesitated, then unlocked the screen. Social media posts filled it. Screenshots, comments, half truths twisted into sharp accusations, rumors about Daniel's family wealth, questions about influence, suggestions that his success was not earned. Some comments were scaristic, others were cruel. Daniel felt heat rise in his chest. "This is ridiculous," he said, handing the phone back. "People get bored. They make stories." Ryan lowered his voice. "Yeah, but this is not just online anymore. People are talking here. Professors too. You should." "Careful," Daniel interrupted, scoffing. "Ryan, I have lived my whole life under people's eyes. Whispering does not scare me." Ryan did not look convinced. "Whispers turn into storms, men." Daniel walked away before Ryan could say any more, but the words stuck. In class, the atmosphere felt tense. Professor Harris paused longer than usual, beginning the lecture. When his eyes met Daniel's, they did not hold anger, just warning. As the lecture continued, Daniel could not focus. Every scratch of a pen, every cough sounded louder. He shifted in his seat, jaw tight. Why does this feel different? He wondered. After class, Daniel headed to the library, hoping the quiet would calm him. That's when he saw Emily. She sat by the window, sunlight casting soft shadows across her face. She looked up when he approached and offered a faint smile. You look like you are carrying the weight of the room, she said. I am fine, Daniel replied quickly, too quickly. Emily closed her book slowly. That's the third time I have heard you say that this week. Daniel looked away. People talk, they always do. Yes, she said softly. But sometimes the word whispers before it hits hard. He met her eyes then. There was concern there, real concern. You should listen, she added. Daniel swallowed. Listening makes things real, and ignoring them makes them stronger, Emily said. He did not reply. He stood up and left, the silence between them heavier than any argument. By evening, the house felt unusually tense. Margaret paced the living room, her phone in her hand, unread messages lighting up the screen. Daniel, she said the moment he walked in. People called today, old friends, business partners. He frowned. About what? About you, she replied quietly. About us? Daniel clenched his jaw. They have no right. Margaret stepped closer. I don't want to scare you, but I need you to understand. This isn't nothing. I can handle it. Daniel snapped. You worry too much. Margaret's voice softened, but her words did not. Pride cannot protect you forever. Daniel turned and walked upstairs, frustration burning in his chest. But when he reached the balcony, he stopped. The city lights below flickered like distant stars. Once they had made him feel powerful, invincible. Tonight, they felt fragile. For the first time, Daniel wondered what would happen if everything he trusted, his name, his confidence, his status, failed him. He went inside, but the doubt followed. That night, Daniel lay awake, staring at the ceiling as shadows shifted across the room. Every whisper he had heard replayed in his mind, every glance, every warning. Pride had carried him far, but now, in the quiet darkness, Daniel Carter felt the first real crack beneath his feet, and he knew, deep down, that the fall had already begun.